in Raleigh. It's Nick Petro with your routine Thursday weekly briefing for Central North Carolina that covers the period today through Wednesday, January 14. So let's go ahead and take a quick look at what's happening right now. This is current conditions, satellite radar temperatures, and a couple things I'll point out. You can see there's a low pressure system right here. There's a cold frontal system right there. There's probably a warm front somewhere strewn in here somewhere, and that's not unusual. Winds from the south ahead of cold fronts usually means it warms up ahead of these systems, right? So we are going to be the beneficiary of this warm air that will be lifting northward ahead of this cold front. We'll be the beneficiary of that warm air tomorrow, Friday, and actually it'll be pretty warm ahead of this system on Saturday before the front actually does move through on Sunday. Look how cold it is back here. There's high pressure, lots of cold air back in the western part of the country, and up in the northeast it's cold, but clearly that is all confined to our north. We will turn colder. This chillier air mass will sweep in behind this frontal system, so we will go back to near normal temperatures for Sunday through Monday, maybe Tuesday, but it won't be like this massive Arctic outbreak, right? It's just going to get us closer to where we should be this time of the year for Monday and Tuesday. Okay, back to our slides. So in these little quadrants here, you can see upper left is today. There's that graphic I kind of pointed out. Saturday, it'll be inching rather close. By Monday, it's already off into our east, high pressure behind it, not unusual. Typically, these cold fronts are followed by high pressure. So we'll have nice weather Monday and Tuesday, albeit a little chillier. And then the next front will come through around the middle of next week. There is a question in the question box about what are you seeing for late next week? Some sources are saying there's two chances for snow. Chris, I would love to dabble in that, but there's just been so much model bounce back and forth. There were models that said, the next few days are supposed to be really, if you went back last week, there were some models that were predicting really, really big snow for this weekend, and that didn't come to pass, right? So I generally, particularly in very active, busy patterns, those patterns are very changeable. So I wouldn't really put a lot of faith in a 10-day forecast. So I'm going to keep my predictions to the next 7 days. But what happens not this weekend, but next weekend, I'm not going to venture because, like I said, it's a little risky to predict 10 days in advance in a pattern like this where it's constantly changing and the models are constantly updating. So anyway, that front will move through again over the weekend. On Sunday, there will be showers and maybe even a stray thunderstorm ahead of this front. We're going to see rain chances coming back this weekend, starting as early. We might get into some of that rain as early as Friday night, but the best chance for rain will be on Saturday night. There is a small risk for a damaging wind gust associated with isolated thunderstorms on Saturday, mainly from the Triangle region western, basically the western half of the state. And then, as I mentioned, it'll turn cooler again Sunday night, especially in early next week, with temps going back to where they should be this time of year. Dry Monday and Tuesday with rain chances coming back into the forecast for midweek. Watch out for some fog, potentially dense tomorrow morning. So don't miss that first bullet. If you're commuting tomorrow morning, we could have some, varying and quickly changing visibilities in some areas of dense fog. So give yourself some extra time to get to where you need to go tomorrow morning. Okay, here's a look at the rain. None today and tonight. Friday, there's a little bit of, light green over central North Carolina, but really the most of that rain's going to be Friday night, and obviously the heaviest rain to our west. On Saturday, that'll be the best opportunity for some rain for most of central North Carolina. And by Sunday, the system will be exiting, the rain will be exiting. Although if you're up early enough in the day, there could be a stray shower along I-95 in points east. Monday, dry. Okay, so maybe some relief for the dryness we've had, but particularly across the western half of the state. We don't think it's going to be enough rain to pose a flash flood risk, so our excessive rainfall outlook is blank for the next 3 days. There might be, remember I showed you at the beginning of this briefing that southerly flow ahead of the front? Well, that might push just enough warm air up into the Carolinas to maybe, facilitate a thunderstorm, one or two of which could have some wind gusts. It's not unusual for us to get, gusty thunderstorms in January. There's actually a little bit of a climatological signal that, there's been a lot of January. Let me just put it this way. There's been several Januaries. I've been here in Central North Carolina for over 15 years, and I'll tell you, I can probably recall several gusty thunderstorm squall line type situations that move through in January. Now, I'm not saying that's what's going to happen on Saturday, but what I'm saying is don't be surprised to see this marginal risk for severe weather there for Saturday. Again, particularly west of I-95, triangle westward. So anyway, keep that in mind. All right, I did mention drought. Looks like the worst of the drought is central and western North Carolina. It is abnormally dry along the coast, but definitely we could use that rain that I showed you in the 5-day rainfall totals. That will be very beneficial. All right. Okay, so normal temperatures this time of year, believe it or not, if you're in Greensboro and the Triad, southwestern portions of Central North Carolina, you're lucky to hit 50 on a normal, typical day. Low 50s, central and eastern portions of the region. And the normal low is actually below freezing. So, as we go through these next few days, yeah, we're quite a bit above normal. So if you see temperatures behind that front early next week dropping down into the upper 40s to lower 50s, and you're thinking, man, that's cold. Actually, that's where we should be in January. So keep that in mind. But near normal temperatures further in advance, 8 to 14 days, with maybe a slight favor towards above normal precip. All right, this is our graphical hazardous weather outlook, which at a glance shows you what are our main concerns. Some lightning on Saturday. Correction, some lightning on Saturday. There could be, again, that, not sure we're ready to color that severe thunderstorm wind block in yet. Obviously, there's not a block for that because this graphical hazardous weather outlook doesn't go that far. But if there was a block for thunderstorm wind, that might be yellow if we had one. So anyway, keep that in mind. It'll be windy, turning windy on Sunday. That's why we have fire weather highlighted for Sunday, because of the wind. And extreme cold, that might be a little bit too strong of a characterization for the cold Sunday and Monday, but it will be falling back to where it should be, maybe a few degrees below normal, okay? But hey, low temperatures in the upper 20s, around 30 is, some would consider extremely cold, particularly here, in the South and the Carolinas. So that's why we got that painted yellow. All right, so rounding it out here, areas of fog potentially dense, possible Friday morning. Warming up Friday and Saturday ahead of the next front. You can see that there on the little temperature grid there on the right. Gosh, we could hit mid-70s ahead of that front on Saturday. So anyway, keep that in mind. Rain chances this weekend could be as early as Friday night, but Saturday will be the best chance for rain. Small risk for damaging wind gusts associated with isolated thunderstorms on Saturday, mainly from the triangle westward, and then turning colder again behind the front. Temps at or below normal Sunday night through early next week. And you can see that in the graphic there, right? You're seeing, low 50s, even mid 50s, which honestly, that's still maybe even a degree or two above normal. The real below normal temperatures hit on Monday, okay? And then, but dry Monday and Tuesday with rain chances holding off until the middle of next week, all right? And again, things could change for the following weekend, so I'm not gonna venture a guess beyond Wednesday next week, all right? And the hazards, as I already pointed out, some fog tomorrow morning, and again, that damaging wind gust risk on Saturday with any of those isolated thunderstorms. So that is your Thursday briefing for Central North Carolina on this January 8th, 2026.